lubuk-lubuk ini tahu kadang-kadang. Tekan sekali saya. Niya ako sa maya sa pangawa na pulusudan na niya sabab sa kanu di ko kapagkasarig sa kanu sitwasyon na kiyog ko na makalilinta di manggiginawa no langon no mga tao abisita siya sa Sultan Kudarat. Inshallah ta'ala na niya na isa niya tanda sa kapagkaisisa.
As far as the security of the assembly is concerned, na maximize kami ilang all aspect ka-secure kanu pan. As a matter of fact, we have a good coordination with the AP and the PNP and Sultan Kudarat and Sultan Mastura.
I never seen that before, yeah, in my life. I'm now 63 years old, but I never seen before that is a biggest people come to in this what assembly, yeah, okay.
Sate si Ustad. Ini asain saya kasih apa? DTI mana nak? Pemakawan. DTI. Karena sekarang lagi di mana kesiapan di sini. Siapa itu kesiapan? Di sana bisa dulu. Ya lah dia kan lagi telung di buah di sini. Atrak. Terus sekarang mau saya. Atrak ya. Lagi telung di sini. Kami pindah ke Madang saya di sini. Mana bisa? Benar lebih telung ibu. Atrak. Kunci sawan. Ranau. Ranau. Ranau hijau. Dia kan kamu nomor radio saya ini harusnya sarkanu. Orang udah.
Ya suppose no kita antar rumah setambah saling.
Yan.
Welcome to
Camp Darapanan. Welcome to the administrative camp of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. يشرفني أن أدعو الأخ القارئ زين الدين إسماعيل لتلاوة آيات من القرآن الكريم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فليقاتل في سبيل الله الذين يشرون الحياة الدنيا.
Ali Sulaiman for his welcome address and recognition of delegates. يشرفني أن أدعو الأخ علي سليمان نائب الثاني للجنة المركزية لجبهة تحرير مورو الإسلامية فليتفضل شهادته المذكورة.
من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي قال في كتابه الكريم واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أمير المجاهدين الحاج إبراهيم الحاج مراد إبراهيم Chairman Moro Islamic Liberation Front, Congressmen, Governors, Mayors, and respected political and traditional leaders, visitors, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. كم كنت أتمنى أن ينعقد اجتماع عام مثل هذا، وأخيرا الحمد لله لقد تحققت أمنيتي النفيسة. إنني على علم يقين بأن كلما نعقد مثل هذا الاجتماع كلما يتجدد توحيد وعينا الثاقب ويتعمق توحيد صفوف شعب مورو المسلم كأمة واحدة.
First Vice Chairman, Central Committee, Moro Islamic Liberation Front, Ghazali Jafar, for his opening remarks and overview.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. At the height of the all-out war, the organization of the Islamic Conference in order to heal the human crisis in the Bangsamoro homeland, and in line with its humanitarian concern, intervened with the purpose of helping resolve the Bangsamoro issue through peace negotiations, which resulted in the signing of the 1976 Tripoli Agreement and later in 1996 GRP-MNLA Final Peace Agreement. The only way to resolve the Bangsamoro issue and heal the wound is to rectify the injustice by bringing back the Bangsamoro to their history. We would like to emphasize that the peace the Bangsamoro people want in the Bangsamoro homeland is not a relative peace, neither a peace for the benefit of few against the sufferings of many, nor a peace that is only to silence the Bangsamoro guns, but the peace we desire is just peace, and a kind of peace rested in the principle and strength of right to self-determination.
Kaya po, as a head of the peace effort, sana po maintindihan na natin na sana magkaroon na po ng pirmahan ang gobyerno at ang mga kapatid natin MILF. Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Shukran. Thank you very much, Honorable Datu Ahmad Tukau Mastura Al-Haj, Mayor of Sultan Kudarat, Maguindanao.
I was just among the crowd, but today I have the privilege of addressing you as a Moro leader, the new autonomous political entity, an entity beyond the current failed ARMM government.
The extent and depth of the Bangsamoro problem has been as profound as its history and struggle. Never was there any period at any given time during the pre- and post-colonial days in the lives of the Bangsamoro people where there were any comfortable season of prosperity and real scenes of fulfillment.
We shall hope and pray Allah that this will be the last agreement to be signed and implemented by the Philippine government.
For giving us the wisdom to enable us to understand our roles in the search for development and peace. For granting us the strength to go beyond our limitations and for strengthening our conviction that peace can reign in this part of the world. Peace building is not just an economic necessity, but a fiercely urgent one.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we are recognizing the presence of Honorable Mayor Lito Pinyo of Mlang, North Cotabato.
Isang pagbati ng isang maalab at sasabi ng mabuhay po ang inyong pagtitipon ngayong araw na ito para makita kung paano ang ating pag-uugnayan para makita natin at matamo ang tunay na kapayapaan. Mabuhay po ang inyong layunin.
Saadat, Sahibu Saada, Saad Zamuna of the Embassy of Libya.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حضرنا بناء على هذه الدعوة لحضور هذه التظاهرة الجماهيرية والتي تعد ترسيخا لعملية السلام والتقدم خطوات للوصول إلى نتائج مرضية. وهذا ما تؤكد عليه بلدي ليبيا. أود أن أبلغكم بأنها لا زالت مستمرة أن تجد إخواننا وأصدقائنا في الفلبين إخوة متحابين يحلون مشاكلهم بالسلام العادل والديمقراطية الحقة. لا أريد أن أطيل عليكم، ولكنني أؤكد لكم بأننا نسعى وكما سعينا في الماضي إلى الوصول إلى هذه الخطوات الجادة.
Together we witness a Bangsamoro Leaders Assembly, a historical event of Bangsamoro people, the gathering of 1 million people of Bangsamoro.
Today's gathering signifies a historic occasion for the Bangsamoro as a whole, partly because this assembly is held at a time when the GPH and the MILF peace negotiation is at a crucial and important stage. But most importantly also, this assembly signifies the will and cooperative spirit of the Bangsamoro in facing the challenges to form a Bangsamoro homeland.
The International Contact Group is pleased to attend today's General Assembly of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. The International Contact Group is an impartial, ad hoc body agreed upon in the negotiations between the government of the Philippines and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front in 2009. While it is quite common for peace processes to have so-called international contact groups, the International Contact Group in the Philippines is quite unique in that it has both states and international non-governmental organizations.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It is a great pleasure for me to stand here today. Before that, I would like to thank Mr. Chairman of the MILF, His Excellency Haji Murad Ibrahim, and Vice Chairman of the MLF, Mr. Ghazali Jafar, the representative of the government headed by His Excellency Secretary Dean Dallas, the President of International Contact Group, the representative of the OIC, the chairman of the GPH panel in the peace process, His Excellency Mavik Leonen and his team, Professor Farah, Secretary Bakani, Mrs. Jasmine, and Professor Bara. And also to thank the GPH MILF panel headed by His Excellency Iqbal and his team, Datu Mustura, Professor Linga, Excellency Alonto, Molana Alonto, June, for inviting me today. This is the first time that I'm encountering the big numbers of the Muslims in Mindanao. I believe today you are not divided.
Our guest of honor that I am going to introduce to you this afternoon is both the personal and official representative of His Excellency Professor Dr. Ikmeluddin Ihsanoglu, Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Conference. Brothers and sisters, it is my honor to present to you our guest of honor, His Excellency Tahir Ahmad Saif.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. اسمحوا لي في مستهل حديثي أن أقرأ عليكم هذه الرسالة الخاصة الموجهة لاجتماعكم العظيم ولقادة بانجسامورو الموقرين وإلى شعب بانجسامورو الذي نعرفه بالشجاعة والإقدام والكرامة والأصالة.
A bright and peaceful day to all. Assalamualaikum. Unang-una, gusto ko hong magpasalamat sa pamunuan ng MILF sa pag-imbita sa amin sa OPAP kasama ng GPH Peace Panel na makatalo at makipagdaupalad sa inyo sa inyong pagganap nitong malawakan at makabuluhang Bangsamoro Leaders Assembly. Na dito rin siyempre ang namumuno sa GPH Peace Negotiating Panel, si Dean Marvic Leon. Kami ay narito, dala ang pagkikilala at pagpugay ng national government sa inyong tuwirang pagsisikap na buuin at patingkarin ang suporta at pakikilahok ng Bangsamoro para sa nangyayaring usaping pangkapayapaan gitna ng GPH at ng MILF. Nung dumalo ako dito noong 2005, dala ko ang mensahe ng pagkakaisa kasama nyo sa pagnanais, sa pag-asa at pagtataya para sa kapayapaan. I brought the message of hope, solidarity, and persistence in pursuit of peace. It is the same message that I bring today, but at the same time, it is different. The difference is the change of leadership under Pinoy. Ngayon, dala ko ang mensahe na sincero si Pinoy, seryoso si Pinoy, sa kanyang paghangad at pagsisikap para sa kapayapaan at kaunlaran dito sa Mindanao.
We confirm that this government is also for democracy. We are solid in the belief that the principal way that democracy can be practiced in situations where there is a significant group of peoples sharing common and distinctive historical and cultural heritage, economic and social structures, such as the Bangsamoro. We believe in a new autonomous political entity that will not keep the rewards of peace only for the few, but one that will have no other purpose but the betterment of the lives of the many. Our final agreement should be simple but meaningful. It should be signed within this year.
الآن سنبدأ في برامجنا المسائية فنرجو لكل واحد أن يأتي قريبا من المسرحية. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Ako po ay tinatasan lang ni Congressman Loong ng Sulu na upang basahin ang kanyang mensahe. Chairman Murad Ibrahim, Sir, Responses, Secretary Ginteles, Chairman Martin Unit, distinguished guests, brothers and sisters in Islam, fellow mujahideen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. First of all, I deeply apologize for my inability to personally attend this very important event because I have to stay in my province due to unavailable circumstances. Let me, however, have the privilege of sending my dear brother, former Sulu Governor and now incumbent Vice Governor, Benlong, yours truly. We are greatly honored and privileged today to be with you on this very important occasion of the Bangsamoro Leadership Assembly to strengthen Bangsamoro unity and solidarity and to consult the Bangsamoro people on matters concerning our people's fate and destiny. Indeed, this assembly of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, headed by Brother Chairman Murad Ibrahim, brings back memories of the past. If many of our comrades, including this humble servant, are now in government, it is not because we have abandoned these dreams and aspirations. For us, this struggle of jihad fisabilillah continues, but in a different playing field. The field of political and parliamentary struggle. In my present position now in Congress, as representative of the first district of Sulu, I have never failed to voice out without fear the rights and aspirations of the Bangsamoro people.
Ladies and gentlemen, mangunita no sa aula, sa nogot na niya gambula, na makwata no din, ikahanda no. I'm asking the two panels, please learn from the lessons of the past. Strengthen your partners as they are part of the solution to these problems. Involve multi-sectors and capacitate them so they can all contribute to building a strong community. As a woman, as a mother, and as a daughter, it is my fervent hope that the scar many of us bore in our hearts and bodies will not be experienced anymore by the next generation. Di ko nang pakalando ni Magdalupan niya, banguniya ko, talangon, sa kanimbo, so kung isa'y sanimbo Allah, makanggay sa kita no sa to freedom. So, luta no, mga nisal kanin, tamambo na sa mga leaders kano, ang nangalimot na suportan sa no silang langon. Siya po bataman, wassalamualaikum, warahmatullahi ta'ala, wa barakatuhu.
Shukran. Honorable by Sandra F.A. Seaman, Congresswoman, 1st District of Maguindanao Province. Ladies and gentlemen, visitors, brothers and sisters, we are recognizing the arrival of His Excellency Tahir Ahmad Saif, official representative of His Excellency Professor Dr. Ikmeluddin Ihsanoglu, Secretary General, Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC. Sadati wa Sayyidati, nurahibu bihudur mandub al-rasmi, Sahibu Saada, Tahir Ahmad Saif, mandubun rasmi, لصاحب السعادة بروفيسور دكتور إكمل الدين إحسانوغلو الأمين العام لمنظمة المؤتمر الإسلامية. Welcome, sir. We are acknowledging the presence of Dr. David Gorman, Country Representative, Center for Humanitarian Dialogue, ICG member. We are acknowledging the arrival of Dr. Sudibiu Marcus, National Board of Muhammadiyah. We are acknowledging the arrival of Abdul Wahid Patua, Embassy of Royal Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Manila. We are acknowledging the arrival of Sabi Kandounglu, Embassy of Republic of Turkey, Manila. Ladies and gentlemen, another message. I may invite Attorney Omar Sema, Officer Representative of Datu Muslimin Sema, German, Moro National Liberation Front. Sumakbir taro sa Pakatug, sumatanog ataman sa Manila, makinagiran. Takbir! 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 Ikapagsampay ni Datong Muslimin Sema, Chairman o MNLF Central Committee, sa sulo din si Al-Hajj Murad Ibrahim, Basi Adam Pangay, makatingguma, makapagiliapan siran, makatagapadatian, sa mga mayaba pakaradyan. Inshallah wa ta'ala. Ikadwa ay pangani ko sa ampon, Satya Watano, wata ni Dato Muslimin Sema, sinugo po. Sinugo ko po upama para mabadya ko, makapasampay ko sa kanu sa mga katiganan ng mga suludin sa Moro National Liberation Front, katiganan ng mga forces sa Moro National Liberation Front. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My courtesies to the foreign dignitaries who are present here today. Please forgive me for not being with you at this moment. I have so much to tell you, but the wound in my jaw prevents me from making a long speech. So I send my son, the legal counsel of the Moro National Liberation Front, to convey my message. How do we unite? This is the question. In August 2001, the MNLF and the MILF had created a unity mechanism called the Bangsamoro Solidarity Conference. And in 2008, the Bangsamoro Solidarity Council was created and was recently reaffirmed in October 2011 here at Camp Terapanang. During the same time, both fronts have further adopted the principle of unity in diversity in relation to the GPH MNLF PCSP tripartite review of the 1996 final peace agreement and the ongoing GPH MILF peace process. Both fronts agreed to move on a parallel direction, considering the tripartite review is almost complete and the GPH MILF peace process is moving forward. In December 2011, in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, the OIC Special Envoy, His Excellency Sayyid Karim Al-Masri, initiated the Bangsamoro Consultative Forum with a view to further opening up the unification of the Bangsamoro province. All of these mechanisms were arrived at and crafted in order to facilitate unity and cooperation among the fronts and to prevent conflict either on the ground or in the current peace processes we, the MLF and the MILF, are involved in. In relation to the call of unity and solidarity between the Bangsamoro fronts and the rest of the Bangsamoro leaders, we in the MNLF believe these existing mechanisms can facilitate the realization of the clamor for unity and harmony. These mechanisms, while they may be perceived to be exclusive to the Moro front, can be opened up to the rest of the Bangsamoro leaders if only to make the current peace processes more participatory and inclusive, and also to have a venue to discuss the varying issues that beleaguer our homeland. As I have stated earlier, there is no incongruity between the MNLF and MILF. Today's assembly of Bangsamoro leaders provides the rare opportunity for them, for us, to get our minds and act together to jointly address the paramount need of the Bangsamoro people for the attainment of a more comprehensive, meaningful, and lasting solution. The time to act as one is now. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Shukran, jazakallah khairan. We are recognizing the presence of Dr. Stephen Root, country representative and regional advisor for local governance, the Asia Foundation. We are recognizing the presence of Kaizu Takiwaka, Minister, Political Embassy of Japan. We are recognizing the presence of Sikaraichi Choro, National Advisor for Mindanao Peace Building and Development, JICA. We are recognizing the presence of Vice Mayor Don Mangantakan, Tikit, North Cotabato. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, distinguished guests, another message from the members of the ICG. I may call Mr. David Gorman. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I read this statement on behalf of the members of the International Contact Group who stand behind me today. Honorable guests, representatives of the government of the Philippines and the Malaysian government, foreign missions, and organizers from the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. The International Contact Group is pleased to attend today's General Assembly of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. The International Contact Group is an impartial, ad hoc body agreed upon in the negotiation between the government of the Philippines and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front in 2009. While it is quite common for peace processes to have so-called international contact groups, the International Contact Group in the Philippines is quite unique in that it has both state and international non-governmental organizations. The International Contact Group includes the states of Great Britain, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and the international NGOs, including the Center for Humanitarian Dialogue from Switzerland, Conciliation Resources from the United Kingdom, Muhammadiyah from Indonesia, and the Asia Foundation from the United States. The ICG, the International Contact Group's function, is to provide advice and support to each party's negotiating panel in the peace talks to help them in their quest to find a lasting solution to the conflict in Mindanao. The International Contact Group has attended every round of formal talks since its creation in 2009. And it has had numerous bilateral talks with each of the panels before and after each round of talks. The ICG also meets with representatives from civil society, provincial government and regional government, traditional leaders, and religious groups in Mindanao. The ICG, the International Contact Group, is honored to be a part of this peace process. It firmly believes that peace negotiations are the best way to resolve conflict in Mindanao, and applauds the two parties and their commitment and patience to find a peaceful resolution to the conflict. Over the last year, the peace process has been tested several times. Yet, each time, the International Contact Group has witnessed how both parties have demonstrated courage, sincerity, flexibility, and creativity in finding a solution which is both politically and legally viable, nationally and in Mindanao, and recognizes the historical grievances of the Bangsamoro people. The International Contact Group recognizes the legitimate reasons to resolve the Bangsamoro issue in totality in a peace agreement that improves the lives of all stakeholders in Mindanao. The International Contact Group welcomes the MILF's pragmatic approach while firmly pursuing the goal of a negotiated political solution. The International Contact Group also recognizes the strong leadership of the government of the Philippines in this peace process under the current administration of President Benigno Simeon Noynoy Aquino. The International Contact Group now believes the time has never been more ripe for a solution to the conflict, and that the opportunity for a lasting peace should be seized. Both parties are closer than they have ever been to forging a final, comprehensive solution to the conflict. Learning from the past, it will be incumbent upon the two parties to ensure that any agreement they come to is inclusive of all groups, including minorities, provides a level playing field for all to engage politically in a meaningful way, and ensures a permanent end to all hostilities. In the coming period, both parties need to ensure that the transition mechanism leading to an end of the conflict is entrenched both politically and legally, and that there is a communication strategy which helps bring about a transparent and inclusive process. And most important, that there is an agreement which is fully implementable. The International Contact Group stands ready to assist the two parties in both forging a final agreement as well as assisting them to make sure it is indeed implemented successfully. Thank you very much.
نحن سنستمع إلى تقرير يقدمها إلينا رئيس جبهة تحرير مورو الإسلامية وأمير صعبي مورو. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, before may I ask everyone to make takbir. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Gentlemen and ladies, may I now invite the chairman of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front and Amir of the Bangsamoro people, Al-Haji Murad Ibrahim, to give us the state of the Bangsamoro struggle. Sir. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام. I stand before you today. I am greatly honored by the presence of so many foreign dignitaries, including His Excellency Tahir Ahmad Saif, the official representative of His Excellency Professor Dr. Ikmeliddin Ehsanoglu, Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, His Excellency Tengku Dato Abdul Ghaffar Tengku bin Muhammad, the Malaysian facilitator, the Deputy Chief of Mission of the Indonesian Embassy in Manila, who was with us this morning, His Excellency Sri Tomo Werudi Hardo, the Deputy Chief of Mission also of the Libyan Embassy in Manila, who was here also with us this morning, His Excellency Saad Zamuna, His Excellency Major General Dato Abdul Latif bin Yusuf, the head of the mission of the International Monitoring Team, and high government and military personalities, especially Secretary Quintos Dilis, Teresita Quintos Dilis, and Major General Bernardo Ardo of the Army's 6th Infantry Division, as well as Government Chief Peace Negotiator Dean Marilek Yunen and his panel. I am also humbled by the multitude of men and women, including children, numbering by hundreds of thousands. Some have come from as far as Palawan and Manila. Thank you very much for gracing our assembly with your valued presence. This indeed is a historic gathering for the promotion of peace, justice, and cooperation among people. Its significance on the ongoing peace negotiation and its eventual success is certainly difficult to measure. Excellencies, brothers and sisters, this dialogue is in keeping with the policy of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front that its affairs shall be conducted through consultation. Almighty Allah says in the Holy Quran, and I quote, "Those who hearken to their Lord and establish regular prayer, who conduct their affairs by mutual consultation, who spend out of what we bestow on them for sustenance." Chapter 42, verse 38 of the Holy Quran. وَالَّذِينَ اسْتَجَابُوا لِرَبِّهِمْ وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَأَمْرُهُمْ شُورَ بَيْنَهُمْ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. صدق الله العظيم. You will recall that this is the second time that formal consultation like this is conducted since the MILF started to formally negotiate with the Philippine government in 1997. The inputs that you can share will indeed be significant in charting our course of actions in pursuit of the Bangsamoro struggle for justice, freedom, and self-determination. I am happy to report to you that we are not only able to sustain the struggle started by our forefathers in defense of the Moro nation and homeland and Islam, but we are able to attain significant achievements both within our homeland and in the international scene. Thanks to Allah for His guidance and blessings. Credit for these achievements goes to our great leaders like the late Amir al-Mujahideen, Ustad Ahmad Hasim, Allah yarhamhu, and other notable Bangsamoro leaders whose visions laid the foundation of the contemporary struggle for liberation of the oppressed Bangsamoro people. We salute these martyrs, both from the ranks of the MILF and the MNLF and their families, for their sacrifices. The commitment of the leaders and ranks and files of both the Bangsamoro Islamic Armed Forces and various political organizations of the MILF to the Bangsamoro cause sustained the struggle from its infancy to what it is now. The collective efforts of all sectors of the Bangsamoro people and their organizations contributed significantly to the achievements of the struggle now under the vanguard of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. Years back, since the inception of the MILF in the late 70s, we set targets that we thought necessary to propel the struggle to higher heights. Alhamdulillah, not only that we were able to achieve the targets, but the 4-point programs, that is, Islamization, strengthening of the organization, military build-up, and self-reliance, made the MILF grow into one of the biggest liberation organizations in the world today. As of now, we have functioning organization from the national to the local levels. The Central Committee of the MILF and all its agencies are well in place and functioning. MILF political committees exist in practically every village, and we continue to capacitate these committees to be more responsive to the situation. We have organized 43 provincial committees all over the Bangsamoro homeland. We are expanding the coverage of the program, not only among the ranks and files of the MILF, but to all sectors of the Bangsamoro people to prepare them for nation building and role in running democratic political institutions where justice, equality, transparency, and accountability will be the accepted rule. Significant achievements were also attained in making the MILF self-reliant. But this is not enough. There is need to develop the Bangsamoro economy to make our people self-reliant and less dependent to external assistance. We will pursue this program on the basis of political realities on the ground and the needs of our people. The Bangsamoro homeland has been frequently referred to as land of promise. But sad to say, until now, that promise remains a promise. The Bangsamoro people continue to starve and are submerged in poverty and victim of economic disparity. Worst of all, they become refugees in their own homeland. Significant progress is also attained in the promotion of Islamic values and education. It is our conviction that as an offshoot of the continued colonization of the Bangsamoro people, their moral and values crumbled and effectively ruined. We will continue this program because education and values formation are liberating forces necessary to sustain the struggle. This is the reason why one of the main thrusts of the Bangsamoro Development Agency of the MILF, a product of the ongoing negotiation, is capability building and value transformation. Likewise, the Bangsamoro Leadership and Management Institute, BMLI, which is another product of the peace process, had started to fulfill its task in training and capacitating future leaders of our people. We are proud to report to you that the military component of the struggle has achieved significant success in defending our communities and developing into a solid military organization. Your Bangsamoro Islamic Armed Forces has achieved significant level of material and organizational progress, self-reliance, and continues to upgrade their skills. As you all know, the goal of the Bangsamoro people is for the freedom of the Bangsamoro people. This is because the Bangsamoro people were better off when they were independent despite of the continuous war with Spain and United States than when they become part of the Republic of the Philippines. Under the colonial rule of the Philippines, they lost their lands and they become minority in their own land. They lack in development, and worse still, they are blamed for their sad situation, although everybody knows that these are machinations of the Philippine government. The Bangsamoro lost the power to govern themselves and to determine their political future and economic, social, and cultural development. But in deference to the advice of local and international experts, and considering political realities, the MILF agrees to explore political arrangement wherein the Bangsamoro people and homeland form part of the Philippines but enjoy the highest level of self-governance. This is the basis why we are engaged with negotiation with the Philippine government and seek self-governance for our people in a in a state-sub-state asymmetrical arrangement where the powers of government are divided between the central and state or sub-state government, and each level of government has sovereignty in some areas and shares powers in other areas. However, sad to note that despite the fact that the MILF has dramatically scaled down its position, negotiation with the Philippine government is moving in snail pace. This is the 16th year since we started the formal talks in January 1997, and many substantial issues remain unresolved. This is because the Philippine government seems not inclined to resolve the armed conflict, but to manage the conflict to a level that it can continuously rule the Bangsamoro people and exploit the resources of the Bangsamoro homeland. I hope this is not true in the case of the current administration in Manila under President Benigno Aquino III. But what gives us hope that the armed conflict between the Bangsamoro people and the Philippine government will be resolved through negotiated political settlement is the support of the international community. Malaysia has been patiently facilitating the talks. The International Contact Group and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation have been tirelessly advising both parties to stay engaged in the negotiation. And the International Monitoring Team has been courageously doing its mandate that the ceasefire between the forces of the MILF and the Philippine government holds. Despite the slow progress in the negotiation, the MILF will continue the talks with the Philippine government as long as it is necessary. It is only when negotiation fails that we will consider other options that may be available. The signing of the 10-point decision points on principle in April 24, 2012, at least sends a flickering light at the end of the long tunnel. Yes, it can be considered a breakthrough, since it is the first and only concrete achievement as far as the GPS-MILF negotiation under the present GPS administration. The agreement is a declaration of principles, which will hopefully guide the parties in crafting the comprehensive political agreement we are aiming for. Besides the support and motivation from the international community and the other external and internal factors, the continued declaration of commitment by the President to sign a peace agreement with the MILF during his term is at least sustaining to some extent the level of optimism among the Bangsamoro people. The MILF as well is still holding to that. However, we are all aware that the term of the President is now at its meat, and if the present pace of the peace talks will not change, we have to admit the reality that the chances of forging an agreement among the parties is diminishing day by day. The MILF will also continue to engage with United Nations agencies and local and international non-government organizations to ensure the observance of human rights and humanitarian rules of engagement for the protection of the civilians. To our brothers and sisters, the path to freedom and liberation of our homeland from colonial rule of the Philippine government is not easy to tread as our experience shows. We have to stand united as a people, irrespective of our tribal, organizational, or political affiliation. Our solidarity, as our history tells us, is the main reason why we are able to survive as a people and able to defend our homeland from the colonizers. We have to stand as one people, one homeland, and one aspiration. The MILF does not claim monopoly of the Bangsamoro struggle and the dividends of peace, if ever there will be. The struggle is for the liberation and empowerment of the entire Bangsamoro people, of whatever tribe, organization, or political affiliation. If ever the ongoing talks succeed, we see the MILF rule only up to the time when new institutions are in place and democratic elections held. The responsibility of attaining the objective of the struggle is not solely on the shoulder of the MILF, but the responsibility of all Bangsamoro people. We therefore urge Bangsamoro leaders to take parallel efforts to attain the noble goal of liberating our people from injustice and oppression and able to govern themselves with no interference from the Philippine government. Mga pagaling namin, mga lusod namin sa tiyan, alam limod sa saguna. Nalimod kanu saguna, yan yung sabab na naumamanam sa timpo siya kanu kapaninindag kanu anasisita imaylay isakita no nagkasama-sama siya kanu kapaninindag nduyamas na ndumaton kita masanayon susulong kanu sa panoni kasampay kanu kahanda inshallah. Uliano nakaripat po doon kanal timpuan tanu akina paninindag na benar katatanupan makadunggo ugay alhamdulillah masla inapasat tanu. Sumpungan tanu ay MILF na nakasampay sa isadan kanu pinakamasla ang mga umpungan sa kambaya-baya siya sa dunya. So natampay tanuan yan alhamdulillah. Masikan dapangon nakasampay ron ang umpungan na Bangsamoro kanong nanguna timpo. Kaya tanong sa guna, isupagtulik, no pananabangan kano problema tanong na di kana siya po sa ingat. Di kana sa mga pagari tanong po ang mga Muslim sa padadalpa, kaapag o mga maslanasyon siya sa dunya, ndo so international community. Niya pa isabapin, ikelino sa guna, itinamabo kanya sa kita nung naganat. Nasisita, paun ikapamikal, kaysa isa, ndong mabagal aga paninindig. Itago tanong sa ginawa, iya tanong kasampay kanong kahanda na makaukit sa kandalo masayan, ndong kapamikal. Kapamikal siya kanong gusto alalan aga paninindig. Di tanong kawan ay inam, kaasa ang galbagan tanong sulang uno sarap o kataban, na inshallah udara makaparan tanong. Padaman tanong sumadaka ayatan, san sa dalam Al-Quran, kami bibiyara kanutabang Allah, niya sa mga kapudlon. San sa suratul Ali Imran, ayat ay katapulong ay kamagatos ng 60. Tingin in tansurullaha fala ghaliba lakum. If Allah helps you, none can overcome you. Kaya sa suratul Hajj, ayat ay katrupong gusyaw. Uzina lillazina yuqatiluna bi anna lahum zulimu wa inna Allah ala nasrihim laqadir. To those against whom war is made, permission is given to fight because they are wrong, and verily Allah is most powerful for their aid. Siya sa suratul Hajj, ay kapatpuro, wala yansuranna Allah man yansur إن الله لقوي عزيز. Allah will certainly aid those who aid his cause, for verily Allah is full of strength, exalted in might, able to enforce his will. Ya, undo siya sa suratul Ankabut, ayat ay 60. والذين جاهدوا فينا لنهدينهم سبلنا وإن الله مع المحسنين. And those who strive in our cause, we will certainly guide them to our path. For verily, Allah is with those who do right. Marakil pa muna mga ayatan sa Quran. Katawan lang. Yang marakil sa kanula, di matulong sa akin. Na, rango na niya, nanyapay dito ang inam tano sa inshallah ta'ala magkataban tano. Brothers and sisters, we have to be patient and have faith in Allah. Even if we may not be able to see the realization of our dream and aspiration in our lifetime, for Allah promises victory to those who have faith and patience. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Shukran. Jazakallahu khairan. Amirana wa Rais Jabhat Tahrir Moro Al-Islamiyah. Allah will reward him in this world and the day after. Ladies and gentlemen, visitors, brothers and sisters, at this point, we are honored to have with us
Diyan natin wawakasan ang ating noong ginawang coverage dito sa ongoing Bangsamoro Leaders Assembly sa Camp Tarapanan sa bayan ng Simoy, sa bayan ng Sultan Kudarat Barangay Simoy sa lalawigan ng Maguindanao. Sa ngalan ng buong pwersa ng Armen Cotabato, aming station manager, panguna rito si Bobong Calamba, si kasamang Dato Amir Sinswat, Michael Swan, Ben Castillon, si Nasa Alfonso, Carmen Erwin Kabilbigan. Ito ka, Carmen, break tayo sa home base.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mga pagali nami, lubana pupos so programa no mga pagali tano lo sa Camp Tarapanan tagin na 9 to 3 for coverage tano bali lubana pasad so kita no a coverage siya sa DX mo ay Cotabato. Sukran kanulang-ulangon ng mga nakakinag, kanulang-ulangon mitinggapas sa kinasanin, tawag mitinggapas sa dalpanin kanunan apakaragyan asan natabo sa Camp Tarapanan san sa Simoy Sultan Kudarat Maguindanao. Mga pagali nami liw sa madakkel imipon liw sa madakkel siman na madakkel bon na makikinag sa mga radyo nando madakkel bon nailay namin niya amilay sa internet inilay nilan so programa tanaw sa live siya sa DX Simoy Cotabato tamang kanong mga video alubon sa Camp Tarapanan na nailay nilan. Bali mga pagali nami niya pamunsuhatan no siya sa agama Islam mana sinorgayak siya putaman. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Long live the Bangsamoro. One Bangsamoro, one people, one voice, and one struggle.
The struggle is for the liberation and empowerment of the entire Bangsamoro people, of whatever tribe, organization, or political affiliation.